Peace, family. Sabrina, back to natural here. And first and foremost, I want to thank everyone for tuning into my A Deck a Day that I've been posting up on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, just to give a pick a pile, energy reading for everybody daily. It's being well received, so I'm very, very grateful for that. And right now I want to do more of an extended reading. We are on the eve of our new moon in Virgo, our Labor Day new moon. So wanted to do an energy reading in regards to that and focus on the energies of our ancestors and angels, seeing what guidance they have for us in regards to this new moon energy. Energy-wise overview, I will start off by picking a Moonology card, as I like to do, or whatever amount of cards get chosen, just to give a kind of general overview of the energy itself. What we are dealing with, however, with this Virgo new moon, it is the last new moon of the summer. So we've got a change of season happening with the autumn equinox coming on master number 22 of September, which brings in equilibrium, brings in balance, and it's an interesting paradox, like mentioning it being Labor Day and it being a new moon in Virgo, because we do have that kind of contradictory energy in regards to Labor Day being that day off, kind of taking a load off, but then we've got Virgo energy that is really about being organized and meticulous and, working working smarter and not harder. So with that, it's interesting to think about how we can use this day off in a sense. And it's kind of like thinking about letting go, letting God, leaving space for us to be able to download the information so that we can have inspired action, and thinking about taking the day off our day job to plan our purpose. So it's really, really an interesting time, especially with new moon energy, which is about planting seeds, starting something new, or watering the seeds of what we have previously planted on past new moons. So it's really about thinking about our purpose, and we do have the sun and the moon in Virgo, and it's trining Uranus in Taurus, which Uranus is also in retrograde, and Uranus is about the awakening. It's the awakening planet. It's about innovation, can bring on sudden change. So with this very earth energy, with Virgo being an earth sign as well as Taurus being an earth sign, we do have the potential to really ground our ambitions and, again, thinking about our purpose, taking this day off on Labor Day and really thinking about what it is that doesn't make us feel like we're laboring when we're doing what it is that we're doing, and that we can hopefully bring some compensation in regards to that, that passion and that purpose. So we can create this sudden change for ourselves, waking up from being in a status quo, the rat race kind of energy, and really thinking about how we want to be able to use our time. Again, that working smarter, not harder type of energy. Virgo is about organization. It's about focus and follow through. We're thinking about structure, routines, getting more disciplined, finding a rhythm. It doesn't necessarily have to be analytical, even though Virgo does give us that kind of critical thinking and discipline and efficiency. But it's, again, just about thinking about how we can be more purposeful and more detail oriented with what it is that we want to actually manifest. So it's really, really important at this time, especially with it being very earth energy, to reconnect with nature, to ground, get under a tree, take your shoes off and just put your bare feet on the grass or on some soil, and again, think about that inspired action, what it is that you want to do in terms of your sacred plan, what your next steps are in regards to following through with that inspired action. New moon is about planting seeds, watering them, as I said, and refreshing our manifestations. Strategize your scripts. We've been scripting everybody's scripts during this time. We think about our bay leaf rituals and all of that stuff, and it's one thing to put that energy out into the universe, and then again with Virgo energy, it really is about strategizing those scripts. It's really about planning the purpose, hunkering down now and actually creating your to-do list, figuring out what your schedule is, get that, the critical thinking of it, but then actually getting the action-oriented aspect in regards to that, so that you can be calling it in terms of the universe, but that concept of God helps those who help themselves, that you're letting the universe know, I'm reminding you every day that this is what I want because I'm actually investing in it intangibly as well as tangibly every day, instead of just asking for it, you know, please God, please angels, please ancestors, and then hoping that it's just going to fall into your lap. We really have to, you know, connect with this Virgo energy, and there's huge support given what Virgo represents, you know, and just being able to align in that sense. I'm very earth oriented. I'm a Taurus sun and a Virgo moon, so I'm kind of probably sometimes extra, you know, overboard in regards to the structure and, you know, the schedule and, you know, routines and stuff, but it serves me in the sense of getting organized and getting things done. That's what also inspired my Orgonite line, referring to it as, you know, get organized, because there's orgon in that general sense, but then there's also the idea of getting organized in your day, and orgon therapy actually helps you balance and as a result also get organized. So with all of that said, just the you know, 6-minute, you know, general overview so that everybody knows what is happening, how we can actually work with this energy. And I like to kind of give a little, you know, let, you know, the channel happening in regards to what the energy is all about, so that we can see what the cards say and if that aligns with the kind of general spiel, you know, that that just gets thrown out as I'm in the moment and aligning with spirit and with the cards and with the energy. It's also a really good time to do mirror work, thinking about reflecting and looking at yourself in the mirror and asking yourself who I am, who are you, what do you want, you know, and how do you want to get there? What is it that you want to develop? What are your dreams? What are your hopes? What are your aspirations? And what's the plan, you know? And I think the idea of mirroring and looking at yourself in reflection and being reflective in that sense, it kind of creates more of an accountability because you're facing yourself. It's an opportunity to face your ego, face your shadow self, face your higher self, face your actual self, and find an alignment with all of those different energies. And then again, create an accountability, because then when you look at yourself in the mirror again, you kind of have that memory of what you promised yourself, what you discussed with yourself, what agreements you made, especially with this Virgo energy that has the opportunity to really, you know, help you solidify things and actually make them happen. So let's get started with our general energy message from the moon. Give thanks, and I will say a prayer just to call in the energies. I give thanks to the Creator for the breath of life. I give thanks to the Spirit of Destiny for wisdom and insight. I give thanks to the spiritual gatekeepers for opening the way to the ancestral realm and blessing me with Ashe. I pay homage and I pour libation to our ancestors, Orisha, angels, guides, prophets, and ascended masters, and I am honored and I am humbled by their presence. I give thanks to them for sharing their voices and messages through me and these sacred tools as we seek their guidance. Ashe. Ashe, Asheo. All right, we've got 2 cards that fell out onto my lap, 3 cards that fell out onto my lap. So I will read all 3. We've got the blue moon, believe in the impossible. So again, this is an energy overview just to kind of give a foundation to the reading and to the messages that we're going to be seeking from ancestral angelic energies. So believe in the impossible. Beautiful. Expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. So powerful change, impossible, believing in it. I'm loving that. And then there's a void of course moon, nothing will come of this situation. So that's really standing out to me as well in regards to what the cards actually say for the energy that comes through for our interpretation, and what for sure what these cards could be referring to, particularly what the nothing is that could come of this situation. So I'm going to kind of separate these energies. That's what I'm feeling intuitively right now, to be able to kind of get a gauge on what the cards could be representing from these foundation cards. So I'm going to start by getting clarification on these 3 cards with my Tarot and bringing in ancestral and angelic energies. I do like to speak Pamela Coleman Smith's name and give thanks and pay homage to her. She is the illustrator of the original Rider-Waite Smith deck that many and most tarot decks are based on, in terms of the intuition that she created from those illustrations, that she was, the creator of those depictions, and all of the symbolism that's involved in how we interpret tarot still today. She was a Black woman, and there's an alignment obviously in regards to that for ancestral energy for myself in particular as a Black woman, to be able to pay homage to her and to give thanks, especially since she is not very much known and it's not spread enough that this was a Black woman that originated this deck that is, again, the foundation of all tarot in regards to their symbolic energies and depictions. So Pamela Coleman Smith, we speak your name, give thanks, and thank you for clarification in regards to this energy. Give thanks. One card fell over. Ooh, all right. Okay, 2 cards fell over. All right, we've got the 10 of Pentacles, we have the 6 of Wands, we have the Page of Cups. Wow, it's a lot of cards, it's awesome. We have the 6 of Pentacles, we have the King of Swords, we have the 8 of Wands, and we have the Death card. Awesome. And I say awesome because that's definitely ringing with the nothing will come of this situation in regards to the Death card, because it does feel like something that needs to be ended, something that has to turn over. Expect powerful change, believing in the impossible. It's already kind of coming clearer in regards to what it could be referring to in terms of what will not come of this situation. I'm realizing that for me personally, I'm always looking for guidance in regards to what's happening on our planet right now. And sometimes I feel a sense of like low energy and concern for the planet and for humanity because of the way things are going. And then I get aligned with spirit, I get reconnected, I do a reading, I have a meditation, I have an incredible lucid dream, and something just tells me, ironically, a very similar energy of nothing will come of this situation. And what comes to mind in those moments is, don't worry about it, they're not going to win. You're going to be all right, they're going to be all right. The people that are aligned with source and light and love are going to be all right. Nothing is going to come of this void of course moon, that kind of dark energy that we get from here, and that is also the energy that we get from the Death card, which is kind of morbid in that sense, but it's always darkest before dawn type of energy. So it really does feel like something is going to die in order for it to be reborn, and that is the thing that I feel is the nothing that will come of this situation. That's what's definitely coming through to me right now, is the things that we're worried about is what is not going to manifest. So we do have to release the worry so that we're not slowing down that potential for hope and that reality for hope. We have all the way over here to the left, completely opposite from our Death card, we have our 10 of Pentacles. Our 10 of Pentacles is about legacy building. It's about, thinking about what you're leaving behind. It's, you've got full family here, multiple generations. The Pentacles is about our money, is about our health and our wealth. The 10 represents a new cycle, new beginnings. So that is definitely aligning with this new moon energy, and it coming as well aligned with believing in the impossible. In many ways, when we think about a future, we want to think about this 10 of Pentacles energy of, having generational wealth, being able to leave something for our children, for our grandchildren, and that is what this card represents. And oftentimes you might think that that's impossible, especially with the way things are going, but it is about believing in that impossible. and believing that it's absolutely going to happen, that we can live a legacy, that there is going to be inheritance even in some ways, and that even if it's not us inheriting, that we are going to be able to build something, create something new in this new cycle with the 10 energy. 10 energy is also aligned with angels and ancestors. When you find dimes, that's our angels and our ancestors giving us a tangible, recognition that I'm here. Do you see me? Do you see this? This is me letting you know that I'm here. So this is really powerful for me as well, with the 10 coming through, and it being a pentacle, it being a coin in that sense as well, is definitely angels and ancestors letting us know to believe in the impossible, to not worry about what seems to be happening that we're worried about. That's not going to be what comes to pass. That is not going to be the situation. And that powerful change is what is bridging these two cards in regards to that's what's going to happen for us to actually be able to manifest this kind of abundance and material wealth, but also in regards to our health. This issue that's happening and that many of us are concerned about is a money situation. It's a health situation. Regardless of what we're talking about, it's all tied in. Health and wealth is very much tied in, especially here in America, when we think about the medical system and pharmaceuticals and what's happening with COVID and this vaccine and all of this stuff is very much tied in. It's all one hand washing the other in regards to it, which is what creates a lot of distrust, right? Because there is no separation in regards to health and wealth in this country. So there are a lot of contradictions. There's a lot of vacillating as a result of that, and a lot of people are profiting off the wrong things, which again creates a lot of distrust and concern and worry and such. Moving on, we do have the 6 of Wands, and that is a recognition. That is, us coming into a feeling of finally getting our laurels, feeling like we're being celebrated. This is very aligned as well with that, believing in the impossible, seeing ourselves, not to say like on a pedestal in any type of way. And it's really just about victory. It's about feeling that you have good news and that good news is coming, that you're going to be successful, that rewards are coming your way, and that it is based on your manifestations. It is based on your work ethic. Again, this new moon in Virgo is about hunkering down and getting this work done. Believing in the impossible, just like this card is saying, is not just about sitting back and waiting for it to happen. It's about doing the work. 10 of Pentacles is legacy building, which means you have to do the building. It's not going to just fall into your lap. It does, again, also potentially mean inheritance, but I'm getting more of a sense that it's about what we are actually going to be leaving for the next generation versus what's being left for us. So I do believe that the work is on us. There's a huge shift and transition right now. Again, this Pentacles energy is health and wealth. So I think there's a very, very rare opportunity that we're in right now to create a completely, again, powerful change in regards to the reality of things. And that is what our next generations are going to be able to build off of. And it is going to be more based on immune boosting. It's going to be more based on aligning with nature, getting back to natural, reconnecting with nature's remedies and such. And that's what's coming through in regards to the health and wealth energy of the Pentacles and this 10 of Pentacles. And living long, it's also, this energy is about longevity and seeing an elderly person, seeing our elders there. It feels like we will be there to see this powerful change in our old age, in a sense. We will be there to see that huge shift, what happens to our kids, and then seeing our grandchildren as well, and how we realize the work that we did, the building that we did, is what created this new earth, this new reality for them. And also because we believed in that impossible, that they now get to live it. So that's the victory. That's the success that I feel is coming through. If we believe, if we do the work and make it happen. We've got Page of Cups, which is an offering of love. Our cups energy is, and before I continue, just to specify in terms of the Wands energy, it is about creativity. That is about our passion and our fuel and our purpose. So the success that I do feel coming in regards to this and recognition is about, similarly like of what I'm saying in terms of taking this Labor Day to think about inspired action, think about ways that we could make money where we don't feel like we're laboring. It's about what we're passionate about. It's about what's creative for us, what we consider to be our creative flow and what inspires us creatively. And then we've got the Cups energy. So Page of Cups again is an energy of offering something. It's volunteering, giving something. It's letting someone know, I want to give you something. I want to share something with you. I have a gift for you kind of energy. And it's a very new energy. It's a very, not to say naive, but the page is often referred to as very youthful energy. So the youthful energy could be an innocence in regards to that. That youthful energy doesn't necessarily have to be young in regards to age, but just in terms of, being young at heart and throwing caution to the wind and, kind of wearing your heart on your sleeve type of energy. And I think that this is coming through in regards to that passion and that purpose and what it is that you feel really, really good about when you do it. It's an offering that you're giving to the world and to yourself by choosing it, and you are going to be recognized for it. It's sacred service is what's coming through as well. If there's, something that you do, again, aligning with the Pentacles energy of health and wealth. This could be something that's more on a holistic, point of view. Again, something very artistic, something that energizes the heart, yours as well as other people's. It's, thinking about working with your hands and your heart. That's this energy right here. Hands and heart is definitely what comes through here. Holding up this wand, if thinking about even a paintbrush, holding a microphone, picking up a pen, creating things like I blend oils and make Orgonite, these kinds of things that you can work with your hands. That's like handmade with love. And then you've got that, cups energy, which is bringing in that love energy and that offering, so that you're basically giving somebody something. Even though there's an energy exchange or a monetary exchange or whatever it is, they know that what you're doing, what you're prioritizing, what you're creating came from your heart, and you're creating this offering. The fish in the cup as well represents abundance. Fish often represent fertility, abundance, prosperity. So it also is giving me a very clear indication that this idea, this passion, this creative force that is aligned with health and aligned with what can bring our wealth is definitely going to be heart-centered, and as a result be very, very fruitful and, again, fertile for you because of that very heartful intention. And then right on the same lines, and coming full circle in some ways with the Pentacles energy as well, we've got our Six of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles is kind of the, energy of the person that has to give and has the power to decide who gives and who doesn't give. Right now, we do feel like we are waiting for something, like we're waiting for handouts. A lot of us are struggling financially through COVID and through, a lot of the financial difficulty that this whole situation has led. And we do feel like there are few people, like the elite, that are, just giving sprinkles when they feel like they want to give sprinkles, and to who they want to give sprinkles to. So it is definitely a feeling, in some ways, of feeling helpless. And on the flip side of it, I want us to put ourselves in this person's shoes and to be inspired by this progression of things, of thinking about that, believing in the impossible, thinking about the powerful change of things flipping. If we feel like we are the ones that are kind of on our knees as the beggars in some ways of what that, energy and that depiction kind of looks like, to reverse that whole story, change that narrative completely, put ourselves in this position and know that we are going to have enough to share with everyone, and we are going to be more generous than the feeling that we are getting right now as the ones that are waiting for a cut, waiting for, some crumbs or whatever it is that they decide to share. That we are going to achieve our success based on what it is that we are doing with our heart, that is going to be so fruitful and so fertile, and that, again, we are going to change the energy of this whole world. Again, this energy of nothing will come of this situation. I believe that that's the way things are right now, and the energy of what we're worried about, that is not going to come to pass. The dark intentions, I really do get that feeling, in general, of there being very dark intentions of what the people that do have the power to decide who has and who has not are doing, what they're focused on. And again, there's a lot of they're not being genuine because of how much they are able to profit off of the way things are happening, especially if we look at the medical institution as it is. So it really is an energy of not worrying about things progressing the way that they look like they're progressing, believing in the impossible, believing in the powerful change, expect it. I love that it's expect. Believe in the impossible, but expect powerful change. That's like, there's no two ways about it. I'm not going to question this at all. There will be no doubt. And the minute you eliminate that doubt, that's what's going to bring in that change. And then once you bring in that change, that's what creates this energy of nothing will come of this current situation. They are going to lose their power, and this role is going to be reversed. And you, as a light being, you as someone who would be more generous with your time and with your energy and with your money, with that success, with that heart, is going to have the opportunity to give more, and as a result create more of a balance in regards to what people have and how it's shared with them. We've got our King of Swords energy. Swords energy is about the intellect, the air element. So we want to think about our mindset and getting to the heart of the truth of something. You want to think about what kind of leader you want to be. You want to be strategic. You want to think about how your thought process is working. And this is why this is so aligned with the Virgo new moon, because as I mentioned in the overview, it is about being strategic, strategizing our scripts, right? We have our scripts for manifesting. Now we have to strategize them. We have our ideas of our passions and our purpose. Now we have to plan that. We have to create that to-do list. If we're focusing on this sacred plan or sacred service, working with our hands, working with what makes us feel like this is not a laboring, energy or an obligation or whatever, we still have to hunker down now, use this Virgo new moon energy, get grounded, get that earth energy so that we can figure out exactly what needs to be done. That is what the King of Swords energy is. It's really coming up with that strategy, coming up with thinking through exactly what needs to happen, writing it all down, creating that to-do list, figuring it out, and doing it at this time when, again, Virgo new moon is so supportive in regards to us having that support to make it stick. Then we have our Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is an energy that I was very much aligned with the 8-8 Lionsgate energy that happened August 8th, because it's about quick moving energy. This is a card that defines 8-8 energy in some ways, like the Strength card does as well. But we've got that energy of infinite abundance. We have the energy of things moving very, very quickly. The expect powerful change energy is definitely coming through here. That sudden, right? We also talked about with Uranus in Taurus in retrograde, it's the awakening planet. It's about sudden change, things that could just happen. We could just wake up one morning and life is just different. That is that same energy. Death card, which is coming up next, is that same energy, that it can literally, something has to die for something new to be reborn. And the transition is that quick. And that's where, again, that nothing will come of this situation, that it could literally be from one day to the next, that this kind of swiftness happens. So it's very quick. The wands are the quickest moving suit in the tarot. It's, again, fire energy. It's about creativity. So we had our 6 of Wands here, and now we've got our 8 of Wands here. That is creating that progression, that is creating that quick change, getting amazing news all of a sudden. Again, that all of a sudden energy, miraculous energy, believing in the impossible. That's really, really coming through very, very heavy. And especially thinking about what energies might kind of have us feeling down. That's where, again, just stay focused on the change, stay focused on believing in the impossible, and that whatever it is that we are worried about, that's where we want to focus on. This nothing will come of this situation. Just be like, nah, I'm not even worried about it. That's not gonna fly. They're not gonna get away with it. They're not gonna get away with it. That's literally it. Just, they're not going to get away with it. That's the energy that we need to put towards it, that it's gonna die. That it's gonna die, and that in many ways we do feel like it's the end of the world, but it is. We're going into the age of Aquarius from the age of Pisces, and we're changing, completely shift over. It is literally a powerful change that we need to expect and that is happening, whether we're aligned with it or not. But obviously, the more aligned we are with it, the more of an ease we're going to have with the flow of things, with that transition, with the rhythm of it. So think about the darkest before the dawn energy with this card. If you see, skeleton energy, like there's a body on the floor, it just looks totally abysmal. It's like this is horrible. But the sun is coming up in the background. So that is what we need to focus on. That sun rising the next day. That, again, it's always darkest before dawn. That is the energy that we're in right now. But that is what is not going to come. That is that nothing will come of this situation. In a sense, it's like saying that it's not going to stay dark. It's not going to stay night forever. The sun will come out. Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, it's only a day away, right? So we do have to, focus on that energy of being okay with something dying in order for something new to come about. That is literally the powerful change that is happening right now. So we have to welcome it. We have to know that it is going to start to move a little bit quicker. And that's what that believing in the impossible is. We feel like we're not going to see that kind of change. Even if I believe it, it's not going to happen anytime soon. If we're doing that, we're eliminating the belief in impossible. We're eliminating the realistic, nature of a miracle, right? We've got to trust in this process, trust in the miracle, and we have to be fearless about it because it is in that energy that is going to create that powerful change, that expedient, that acceleration that is definitely coming through in this thus far. So that's great. I'm going to keep the Moonology cards up and I'm going to move these tarot cards and then we're going to connect with some angels and some ancestors and see what is going on and what is aligning with the rest of these cards. I want to do some Lenormand before we go into that. So give thanks, angels. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you, spirit. Get some clarification on this reading thus far. Ooh, okay, let's go with those. Oh, awesome, 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 guys. We got the tree and the owls. The tree is about aligning with our roots. I was just talking about grounding, and with this Virgo energy, it being about the earth, being an earth sign, taking our feet up, going up under a tree, standing on the grass, and just regrounding, regrouping, realigning and reconnecting with nature, allowing that inspired action, the downloads to come through when we're connected to nature. And the downloads are what the owl will come to let us know. The owl, on the one hand, is the wise old owl, right? It's coming and bringing us all of that truth, all of that wisdom, very much ancestral and angelic energy in regards to thinking about that wise old owl coming through, giving us communication, giving us very clarity of vision. The pair of owls as well is giving us that, insight that we're not alone, that there is kind of backup that we have, that I'm also getting a feeling of waiting for our divine counterpart. I get that as well in the Ten of Pentacles. Building that legacy is finding that ultimate partner. And that's coming through right now for sure in regards to the owl, that, our divine counterpart, if we haven't found them already, is coming through, and we need to focus on grounding, focus on, again, getting back to natural, that kind of energy, focus on faith, believing in the impossible, getting really hunkered down with our sacred plan. And then that's what's going to allow space for that energy to come through. And again, we have the wisdom of the owl, and we also have the owl being nocturnal and being able to see in the dark. So when we think about the death card and mentioning that it won't be dark forever, that the sun will come out tomorrow, and we look at this card of nothing will come of this situation, and it's a very black sky, a very dark sky, and makes us feel like we are not going to be able to see clearly. You've got the owl energy here letting you know that you're going to see just fine, regardless of how long it's going to be dark, and regardless of how long you have to wait for the sun to come out. In the meantime, as it is darkest before dawn, you will have that clarity of vision. You will be able to see in the dark and to be able to figure out what it is that you need to do, and to keep your sight and your focus on believing in the impossible, on the powerful change. The eclipse energy is coming through with that darkness as well, just as I'm looking at it, because we do have that notion of, the sun being covered by the moon, which is, creates that eclipse energy and creates that halo effect. Even though it's blocking out the sun, it's showing that darkness, but you just look at that beam of light, those colors surrounding it, and that is the miracle. That is the impossible. That no matter what, you can't cover the light. You can't block out the light completely. It'll always permeate. It will always come through, especially in believing to receive it. So that's what's coming through for Lenormand. I'll leave these here. Give thanks. Let's see. Connecting with some ancestors and seeing the energy and the message. Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, Spirit. All right. I'm going to take these top cards. Oh my God, this whole stack came out. I don't know if I should just read this whole stack for you guys. I'm feeling like I should read this whole stack for you guys. We've got Earth Guardian, stay rooted and grounded. What did I say? With the tree energy? Like, seriously? Can't make this stuff up. Stay rooted and grounded, all right? Do that thing. Go under a tree, ground yourself, take your shoes off, go under on the soil, and ground. Let those downloads come through. We've got the Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. We had that with our Page of Cups, of wearing our heart on our sleeve, of having something that we're offering, wearing our when we think about connecting with our emotions in regards to aligning with a passion project, with our creativity, that is where it's going to come through for us to really be able to deliver what it is that we want, have that offering of love from our heart to somebody else's in regards to the work that we do, or the product that we're making, or that heart-centered passion project that we're sharing with the world. Star Ancestor, follow the voice of your soul. So again, it's really aligned with having faith in this belief in the impossible, staying aligned with that as above, so below energy, and listening to your intuition, staying so rooted and so tapped in. We have, our pyramids of Giza here. That's aligning us with Sirius energy, with Isis, Osiris, with Oset, Osar, the mirrors of Kemet. It is definitely giving us that alignment with source. And when we think about creativity, when we think about hieroglyphics, when we think about, the music and everything that came out of Kemet being, the creator of civilization, a lot of what we have now in regards to creativity, in regards to mathematics, in regards to science, came from that source, came from those ancestors. So if we tap into that energy and realize that there is nothing more important than feeding our souls, staying aligned and listening to the voice in our soul, that is what's going to lead us to our passion and our purpose. And the money will follow, because the money is energy like everything else. So if we stay aligned with that source energy and create from that space, and want to dedicate our lives to working from that place, again, doing labor where we don't feel like it's laborious, that is absolutely everything. We've got the Hermit, retreat and recharge. That's definitely aligned with the Earth Guardian, to stay rooted and grounded in the tree energy in regards to what needs to be done to take the time. Right now, new moon energy, especially in Virgo, and again, ironically, it being a Labor Day new moon, is a day that we have off. It's a day to kind of relax, to retreat. But in that is a time to think about what we want to do. So taking this day off, like I said in the beginning, taking a day off your day job to think about what you want your days to look like. What's your ideal scenario and reality and take that time, to retreat, recharge, and figure out exactly what it is that you want. We've got great teacher, learn from spiritual experiences. So whatever your alignment is, whether you're spiritual, whether you're religious, whatever this image, speaks to you, the great teacher is whoever and whatever you align with. And you've got the peace dove, and you have that energy of being aligned with someone that can give you that wisdom, which is aligning with our owl energy, that wisdom energy, that elder energy, and thinking about what spiritual experiences can lead you to the next stage in your life. And especially if we're thinking about doing heart-centered work, a lot of our spirituality is and can only be expressed through those creative and magical outlets. So it's important to kind of invest in that a little bit more, because it's also what's going to bring us more downloads, more inspiration to figure out what the next step and next stage is supposed to be. We've got elder, move beyond ancestral patterns. So again, ironically, elder energy is the wise old owl. So definitely coming through in regards to that wisdom energy and what we need to align with so that we can hear the messages that we need. Moving beyond ancestral patterns is also about things that you don't want to repeat. It's about, breaking ties and ending ancestral curses and all of these things that even saying them sometimes is what perpetuates the curse. If we expect powerful change, then we can completely eliminate that. If we think about the impossible and believing in the impossible, then we can ascend our ancestors as well as ourselves, instead of thinking about what we may be repeating and the patterns that we are repeating just by repeating that this is just what it is in regards to generational curses and such. You have to move beyond those patterns so that you can also show your ancestors and make them proud that you are elevating yourself and elevating them, that you're learning from their mistakes and from the lessons that they're teaching you, because now they're in that great beyond, right? Go beyond. They are where they are and always accessible to you. So when you also align in spiritual work, when you align in creative work, you're opening up yourself. You're making your vessel more pure in order to receive these downloads. And they're basically going to be able to give you the pitfalls to avoid so that you can go beyond. And then we've got Earth Mother, feel loved and comforted. And that's again aligning with Earth Guardian, Earth Mother. This is Virgo new moon. So we're all about the earth energy. We've got the tree here as well. So all of this is coming through very, very powerfully in regards to how to work with this energy and to connect with nature and to ground so that you can elevate, root, remember the earth, remember nature, so that you can remember yourself in that way as well. The Druid, hold the space. So in that sense too, is also aligned with, he's right under the tree. This is Hermit energy as well. So we have our Hermit right here, and then we've got the Druid right here, and it's a very similar philosophy in regards to taking that time to retreat, taking that time to hold space, to focus, to align, to plan, to strategize spiritually, to strategize what is sacred to you so that you can go forward with this new plan with the support of all of this grounding earth energy that is going to help all of those plans really get stable and strong and stick, so that people cannot sway you as well. You're going to get very, very solid roots with this plan. In order, when you hold that space, like the Druid is saying, to hold space, you're solidifying. This is me, this is who I am, this is my focus, this is what I want to do with my day, with my life. And I'm not going to be swayed by obligations from other people. I'm not going to be swayed by people telling me, oh, I can't believe you're going to quit your job to whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to know that this is the space that you are meant to hold, that it is a purpose. It's not just a choice, that it's something that even chose you versus you choosing it. That is how you hold that space so that nobody can sway you from that space. And then you've got High Priest, intend and create. Can't make this stuff up. Be intentional, but create. This is again very much aligning with that heart-centered creation, working from the heart and the hands, being very intentional with what it is that we're trying to create, and that you will be recognized for it, that you are going to be rewarded for it, especially because it is something that you are believing in regards to somebody that may even say that it's impossible for you to have this dream, for you to think about doing that. Once you have that intention, and once you take the time to create that thing and to build it, they will come. So all of those cards came through, and they were like super aligned in that sense as well. So I'm very, very grateful for that energy. Give thanks. Give thanks. Let's see what else we got from this Ancestors deck. Ancestor spirits, give thanks for your energy, and for your guidance. Thank you, Spirit, for coming through and giving some more clarification on this energy. We know. All right, that stayed in my hand. I'm going to just take that one. Awaken your inner shaman. Connect, invoke, heal. That is so aligned with our tree energy. Tree energy, again, it's not just grounding, but it is about ancestral energy, its roots, its nature, its health, similar to our 10 of Pentacles with the health and the wealth energy. So really think about what it is that you can do or want to do or have been doing, but not necessarily out for people to know enough about, that is aligned with health and wealth, that is awakening your inner shaman. How you connect, how you invoke, how you heal, and how you heal others. That is also very much aligned with the intend and create of what it is that you are building, what it is that is purposeful in regards to what you're doing. Being heart-centered with this offering, being able to offer somebody something from your hands and your heart that is all about healing, that is all about love, that is all about that shaman energy of creating something, of healing something, of, you know, connecting and invoking an energy. This is also that inspired action that is, again, that kind of paradoxical energy with a Labor Day new moon, of taking this time to retreat, which came through as well, and just kind of take that break day, that day off from the day job, but don't just be lax about it, and instead take the opportunity to think about what it is that you want to connect with, what it is that you want to invoke, how you want to heal, and how you want to heal others. Thinking about this, nothing will come of the situation. Right now, there's a lot of concern about the healing of humanity and what is happening in the world and what could continue to happen and what people are going to face years from now. We can't worry that it's going to be bad and that it's going to, you know, be abysmal and all of these things. We have to instead focus on the healing, focus on invoking what it is that we want things to look like, and that it's not going to come to pass with all of the darkness that we fear. Like one little finger over this and it's just like a dark sky, not a star in the sky. You know what I mean? So we want to definitely focus on the moon. We want to focus on the illumination despite the dark night, the dark night of the soul in that sense, and that darkest before dawn. We want to focus on this fire. We want to focus on the flame energy and all of the purification that fire can produce for us and that can provide for us, and that brings us through with the passion and the fuel and the purpose for this new earth and this new life and what it is that we want, you know, to rebirth. That phoenix rising from the flames energy, right? So it might burn, but we focus on what we're going to be when we come out of that flame. That's that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego energy of faith over fear, of no matter what, we can walk through that fiery furnace, but we know we're going to come out the other side. Nothing is going to come of the negative situation. That is not what's going to come to pass. Instead, we are going to walk through the fire. This is not the first time that this has come through. You know, Spirit has brought this through for me in a reading. And it really is about walking through the fire. That is what's happening in this energy right now, in this time, in this era right now. We need to walk through fire. literally. And it is those that have that faith, that believe in the impossible, those that expect powerful change. Expect powerful change. It's an entitlement at this point. We're like, yeah, this is happening. That have no fear to walk through that fire because we know what's going to be on the other side, and it's going to be worth it. Absolutely going to be worth it. I'm going to go through native spirit and see what energy comes through. Give thanks, angels and ancestors, for your guidance. Especially aligning with shaman energy. This is the perfect deck to continue with. We're at 15 minutes, and I do like to keep these readings under an hour, so let's see how it goes. And I thank you for your time, especially if you're still here. Oh boy, see, now we're getting another stack of cards that I gotta, wow. Keeper of the North, Keeper of the South. Spirit Keeper of the North, Spirit Keeper of the South. Prayer Feather and Song of the Wild. First and foremost, what's coming through with getting both the North and the South is literally the darkest before the dawn energy that's coming through right now. It's literally feeling of being in this dark, cold energy, like we have in this nothing will come of this situation kind of vibe, like we're feeling in the Death card, but the Death card is epitomized by these two opposing spirits. This energy could be focused on the North, feeling cold, feeling dark, feeling like the sun isn't out, and then we see the sun coming out in the background, and that is the spirit of the South that is coming through. So I definitely know that we are in the middle right now of a very paradoxical energy. That is also the energy with a Labor Day new moon in Virgo that's coming through as well in regards to that duality. And we do have to decide what we're choosing to focus on. And it's about direction. It's as above, so below energy is what's coming through as well here, looking at North and South. So we've got Song of the Wild. So this is coming through in regards to the creative spirit of what it is that we want to focus on. You know, whether music is your thing, whether writing is your thing, like whatever it may be, it is about being wild, being expressive, being creative in regards to what it is that we're doing and also what we leave behind. And that's coming through now, echoing so loudly in regards to this legacy that we're leaving behind. It's not always about money. It's not always even just, again, about health and what we are leaving the world with in regards to a better reality of being more centered on nature. It's also about our art. It's about our creativity and what we're leaving for the next generation. The songs that we're leaving behind, the art that we're leaving behind, the paintings, the writings, you know, the whatever it is that we create. That's what we want to think about. And the Song of the Wild, that energy too, is very much about believing in the process of whatever it is that you're choosing to do. And people are going to consider you wild. They are going to consider you a rebel, all of these things. If you choose to kind of, you know, throw caution to the wind and follow your bliss and follow your passion, you do want to run free. You do want to be that wild horse. You want to be, you know, that person just singing in the shower, that's just dancing in the rain, that's just that energy, because that again is what creates inspired action. It is elevating your energy in regards to, you know, bringing you to a higher vibration so that the downloads can come through to lead you on the path that you are supposed to be on. And that's going to bring you in that direction in regards to as above, so below energy and the direction of where you're supposed to be. And then you've got Prayer Feather, and that's aligning again very much so with very wise energy with our ancestral. We've got our beautiful tree here that's aligning with this tree here in terms of grounding ourselves and rooting ourselves and being aligned and connected with prayer. The feather energy is bringing in that owl energy as well in regards to, you know, the owl feathers and coming through with wisdom, with direction, bringing in the air element and the flow of things, and just being very, very confident in regards to knowing that we are protected, we are guided, and that our prayers are flying up to the universe for them to be answered. Ashe. Beautiful. We're at 54 minutes, so I think I'm going to conclude the reading. I may do a separate angel reading because I've got 4 angel decks that I didn't even get to because of the amount of cards that got picked up, and that's incredible because clearly there's very, very insightful messages for us, and I hope you've received them. I hope they are resonating, and if I do another reading, another angelic reading, feel free to look for that. That is going to be basically part 2 to this same energy. I'll probably keep these cards up and and pull the other ones in a separate video. So thank you all for listening, for tuning in. Stay tuned every morning, a deck a day, on my Back to Natural on Instagram, Sabrina Sahara Shares on Instagram. You know, I'll say the like, comment, subscribe, and all of that stuff that I never say. But yeah, just stay in touch. I do private readings as well, so definitely hit me up if that is of interest to you. And I only charge $1 per minute. Everybody's having some hard times, and sometimes we don't get to prioritize spirit and magic, and I just, you know, try to make it as accessible as possible, especially when so many of us feel like that's not what we should be spending our money on, when it's exactly what we should be spending our money on, because it just sets us, you know, right on course, and lets spirit know that we are invested in our spirits. So that's it for now. I will again continue the reading and see what the angels have in store for us regarding all of this energy. So believe in miracles, my lovely people. Trust in the process and be thankful for all that is just the way it is, and be absolutely fearless, because whatever it is that you may be worried about, nothing is going to come of that situation. Only good things. It is time for the new earth. It is time to rebirth it. And you, yes, you are a pivotal pillar in making that happen. So I thank you, and I am honored. Till the next video, Ashe. Peace, y'all. Let's get back to natural.